Nearly 13 years in prison, then over 20 years as an attorney. Needless to say, I learned a few things. Let's talk. Alright, NTB, man. So, pretty much wrapping up today, and hopefully I've made a positive impact on somebody's life today. But I was listening to the news earlier on, and I was hearing some things that I wanted to share with y'all about this case. People from out of town particularly are talking about this case. I don't know if y'all heard about it. The guy got choked on the subway, homeless man. So a lot of people are trying to figure out which way this thing is going to go. Was it murder? Was it not murder? Was it self-defense? Okay, so quick overview of the law in this area, guys. In New York, they have something called justification. It's not called self-defense per se. It's called justification, right? And justification is an idea that under certain circumstances, a person can use force, even deadly force, to protect themselves, to protect others, and protect their property and obviously their homes. So in this case, what's going to happen with this young man, he's probably going to assert the defense of justification, defense of himself and or others on the subway. Now, this is just pure law. The pure law we're going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about the other aspects of this case that may influence the outcome. As we know, sometimes politics get involved. Sometimes the issue of race and class and poverty and wealth comes up and start murkying up the waters. So I'm going to try to stay away from that in this video. Maybe we'll touch on some of those social and political aspects next time. I just want you to understand, for those who are asking this question, the pure law. All right. So under the law in New York, justification, you can use force, sometimes even deadly force, to protect others. And so again, this young man is probably going to have his attorney assert justification. He had to use the force. One of the issues is going to be what the standard is. The standard is you have to use force that's reasonable and necessary, meaning it has to be reasonable and necessary. So the question is going to be, was the force he used necessary? Meaning, did he have to choke that young man? And the next issue is going to be, was it a justifiable use of force? Was it a necessary and reasonable amount of force that he used? I'm going to tell you a quick story, right? And this is what's going to cause some trouble for this man. And I'm going to be straight up and honest. And if I was his attorney, and I'm sure his attorney probably knows this already. When, I was a young guy, street guy, hanging out in the streets, they had something called strong-arm robbery, right? And under strong-arm robbery, what guys would do is they'll run up on people, choke them for a short amount of time and put them to sleep. Same thing in the penitentiary. In jail, in prison, they have something called put them to sleep. Put them to sleep simply means that you run up on a guy, unsuspected person, choke them for a little bit about a time, put them to sleep, and then you can rob their cell, or if it's in the streets, you rob their pockets, take their watch and all the rest of that, and you run away. Here's the thing. That's common knowledge among street guys, strong-arm robberies, and guys who do that type of, nonsense, basically what it is. But they know, a lot of these guys are uneducated, they're not trained, they just know that you have to get a good grip on them, hold them for a couple of minutes, 2-3 minutes, 2 minutes really, put them to sleep, and then take their things. What I'm hearing about this case, and it may cause this young man, this Marine, some trouble, is that if street guys know this, who some of them don't even have a high school diploma, never been trained, and convicts know this, prisoners know this, because prisoners use this tactics all the time, talk to the dudes who are locked up. I'm telling you what I know personally. You know that 2 minutes, you put them to sleep. 5 minutes, you moving towards killing them. And you had situations like that in the penitentiary too, where dude will hold another man by the neck for 5-10 minutes. He's not trying to put him to sleep. He's trying to kill him. And so the trouble is going to come for this young man, this Marine, to wrap it all up, is the amount of force that he used, one. Was it necessary to use force in the beginning? 2. And how much force did he actually use and assert? And as a trained Marine, he's going to be held to a particularly different standard, because the reality is, if a guy in the street, guy in the penitentiary knows, some of them dudes don't even have high school educations, no particular training, they know that you can't choke a guy for 15 minutes and have him survive. You are a Marine. You are trained. You don't know. It's going to be a hard sell, but we don't know all the facts. Let's get all the facts in. Just wanted to share that with you. Remember, standard's going to be reasonable and necessary. Was it reasonable? Was it necessary? And it's going to be an interesting case, guys. I'm sorry to hear about the loss. Just wanted to clarify some things on what the law is here in New York in terms of justification, self-defense, and defense of others. Anyway, have a good one, guys. All the best. MTV, man.